Now, if you're looking to invest in the airline industry, Delta Airlines is going to be a major one that you're going to take a look at. And before you do any investing, you should always do your homework. So that's what we're going to do, a little bit of homework on Delta Airlines. And the first place we like to start the homework is the products. We want to understand what are the products that they offer? What problems do they solve? The main product is going to be in the area of passenger travel, which is simply taking people from one place to another. And within that, Delta has done a great job of partnering with many other airlines. And now, what makes Delta a little unique from some of the other airlines, because some of the other airlines like United or American, where they have partnerships with these airlines, whereas Delta has done something slightly different, where Delta has actually bought ownership into some of these airlines. So not only do they have a relationship with them, they actually own a percentage of the company, which has allowed them to expand with brands like KLM or brands like Air France. So they've done a really good job in that area of expanding their reach, of being able to attract more customers because they have more, I guess, say airlines, or they have more destinations within their family. Now, the other area is cargo. Now, this one is just, I guess you would say, it's just a common thing you see with airlines. If they're already flying from one place to another, why not accept cargo from passengers or from people that want to move products or move things from one place to another? It's not a huge part of their business, but I mean, it is a decent part. It's almost $1 billion in revenue. And then the other area is, again, the other category. But this one is a little unique because most airlines, what falls into their other category is their loyalty program, where they have a partnership with a credit card company. And with that credit card company, what they're doing is saying, you can use our name on your credit card. We'll give your customers points for every dollar they spend. You just have to share the revenue with us. And that's what a lot of airlines do. Just about all of them do that. And Delta does it as well. But what Delta has also done is Delta has added something that many of the other airlines don't have. And that is, I guess you say, a maintenance and repair operation, which when airplanes actually need to be, or the aircrafts or the engines need repairs and need like regular maintenance, which all of them are required to do by the FAA. Well, Delta actually has an operation where they can do repairs or they can do regular maintenance on aircrafts or private jets, which allows them to have a different stream of revenue that many of the other airlines don't have. This part of Delta's business is about around 3.9, close to $4 billion in revenue in 2019. That means their other category is much bigger than any of the other major airlines. So when I think about the products that they offer and the problems that those products solve, I would say that Delta definitely gets an A in the industry because they are offering something that many of the airlines don't offer, and they have developed unique approaches and partnerships to be able to expand the reach of their product offerings. The other thing that we like to look at are the finances. When we look at Delta's finances, a couple of things stand out to me. Because of COVID-19, you've seen a significant drop in the revenue for Delta, which is common across the board. But prior to COVID-19 hitting, so let's look at Q3, Q4 of 2019. You can see that their gross margin, which is their sales price minus the cost of just delivering their product or running their airplanes, that cost, I guess that margin was about around the mid to low 20% range. And that's actually a little lower compared to some of the other companies in the industry. So that wasn't too impressive for me. But when we get down to the operating profit, what we do see is that they've done a decent job of managing the back office expenses related to running their business to where they've actually been able to achieve a operating profit percent that is within a healthy range for this industry. And then the other major thing when it comes down to an airline is you want to pay attention to is cash. Do they have enough cash to survive? Because a lot of companies in the airline industry struggle in this area. And when you don't have enough cash to keep your doors open or to keep your business operational, that's called bankruptcy, and which we have seen over the years. There have been a lot of airlines that have filed for bankruptcy because they couldn't keep enough cash flowing through their business to stay alive. So when you look at the cash trends for Delta, I would say they are able to keep a pretty healthy cash balance. Even in COVID-19, they've been able to reduce their expenses and reduce their cash output to where they've been able to still keep, I guess you'd say somewhat of a positive cash flow in Q1. And they were able to reduce how much cash they lost from free cash flow in Q2. But they've had access to loans or debt or financing to be able to keep a healthy cash balance on their balance sheet. So when I think about their business, I would say that in the area of the finances, I would give them an A-. Now, the last area that I think is probably the most important to you as an investor is how are you going to make money? Because it's great that if they have good products or they manage their finances well, but the real question is how are you going to make money? And the most obvious way that you make money when it comes down to a stock is the stock price going up, or I guess depending on your strategy is whatever you bought the stock for and whatever you sold it for, as long as you can sell it for a profit. So when we look at the stock price for Delta, something that jumps out to me is that right now at the time we're filming this is Delta's stock price is about around $26 a share, which just like many of the airlines, it has significantly dropped as a result of COVID-19 because we don't really know when the airline industry will go back to normal. So the price has dropped. But when you look at the 52-week high, kind of where it was 6 months ago, one of the things that you see is that the price the height of it was around $62 a share, which means people have a lot of confidence in Delta when things are normal. So when I look at this, I would say that because of the financial position that they're in of having a sufficient and strong cash basis, I would say they probably have what it takes to be around for a while or to be around to make it through whatever the new future is going to look like for air travel. And based on their history, they've shown that there is strong potential for growth in the stock price. So when it comes down to their stock price, I would give them a score of an A. So there you have it. When we look at their products, I gave them an A because they're doing something that all the other airlines are doing, but they're using a unique strategy which allows them to generate more revenue and to diversify their revenue a little bit better than some of the other airlines. And then when we look at their finances, they're in a healthy position. They have a very strong cash position. And then when we look at the potential of growth and the value of the stock, there's a lot of potential there. So overall, I would give them an A. So if you're thinking about investing in the airline, I would say Delta's one that you should really take a look at. And before you make any investment, you should always do your homework because you should never make an investment if you don't actually feel confident or you don't really understand what your money is going into. So do your own homework, but that is how I would start to do the homework on Delta as a company.